Using the Method in Getting Started by Angie.
And Caitlin.
What is a process analysis essay? A process analysis essay is a kind of essay that explains the process or actions someone needs in order to complete a task. For example, a cookbook has several recipes stating all of the necessary ingredients and steps, allowing the reader to follow along in logical order. Most of the time, the purpose of process analysis is to explain, but it can also prove or evaluate something about the process. There are two main types of process analysis essays, directive and explanatory. Directive process analysis essays tell the reader how to perform a process such as baking a cake and can be broken up into stages or phases. Also addresses the reader directly using the word you or commanding verbs. For example, after you add the flour mixture, add in 1 egg and stir. Explanatory process analysis essays tell about how something is done without giving directions and informs the reader, like how a gas turns into a solid. Most of the time, you address the reader in third person and use words like he, she, or they. The essay to the left is a directive process analysis essay, explaining how to make cutoff shorts. Within the essay, it thoroughly explains each step from first to last, so the reader can successfully follow through and make cutoff shorts. Also, the writer is speaking directly to the reader. The essay to the right is an explanatory process essay and is telling the reader how the pet adoption process happens. The essay did not give directions on how to adopt a pet, they gave information and tips. The writer is not speaking directly to the readers and has an informational tone.
Ways to write process and analysis essays. You want to try to write about a subject that is already familiar to you so you can expand on thoughts you already have for some research. While writing, you can also focus on a point of analysis that you can develop into a thesis statement. The essay can show a specific process to demonstrate a topic more generally. A process analysis essay can also explain an unfair or inefficient process that is less likely to actually work. Consider the reader. As you write your process analysis essay, you want to try to remember a few things. You want to try to think about what the audience may already know, therefore, thinking of any words that may need definitions if they're specific to the topic. Putting in some examples as well can help the reader understand the topic more. If there are instructions from a directive process analysis essay, you want to include anything that can be important to the task, such as any supplies needed, any problems that can happen, and the expected results of the task. And this is an example of a directive process analysis essay while planting tomatoes. Each paragraph separately is a different step for planting tomatoes. And the first paragraph being the first step, and then the last paragraph being the finishing steps, as well as including some things such as the result that should happen, any extra supplies that may be needed, and any other problems that can happen. Throughout the essay, there are words such as first, next, and then that are used as transitions to show that the steps are still in chronological order.
For those of you unfamiliar with the term process analysis, you can also think of it as a how-to article. You have two options to choose from. You may write about how to accomplish a task or about how an event or phenomenon happened. Topics for how to accomplish something could include how to build a campfire, how to baby-proof a house, or how to become a better runner. All of these topics can include some kind of physical work. However, mental tasks, such as how to become a better friend, are also appropriate. Writing about how something happened is still considered a process analysis essay, but it takes a different approach. Potential topics could include how World War II began, how Harry Potter changed the world of publishing, or how the world became dependent on oil. For those of you unfamiliar,
There's some true or false. A directive process analysis essay gives steps in chronological order in order to perform a task. It's true. While writing a process analysis essay, it is important to define terms that the reader may not know so that they know what you are talking about. It is also true.